I now call the meeting of the Code Enforcement Special Magistrate to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag. Welcome to the Hillsborough County Code Enforcement Special Magistrate hearing. When addressing the Special Magistrate, please state your name, address, and speak clearly into the microphone. If you are planning to speak during the hearing, you must sign in the speakers list located at the front. Presentations by the county, respondent or respondents, and opposition must be kept to a maximum of 10 minutes each. The special magistrate may recess if necessary. The basic procedures of the hearing are as follows. Your case will be announced. Ms. Rodriguez will conduct oath of witness. Staff will present the evidence on your case. You will be allowed to rebut the evidence and explain what happened. I will close the hearing and announce a decision. All decisions are based on the gravity of the violation, action taken by the violator, and the violator's history. I may ask questions and allow other witness testimony if necessary. If I issue an order for compliance, it is your responsibility to notify the code enforcement officer on or before the date ordered to demonstrate that the violation or violations have been corrected. Depending on my order, the code enforcement staff may later have to conduct an inspection to see if you're in complied. If the staff believes you have not complied, you will receive a notice in the mail. By law, you have 10 days to contest the notice. Otherwise, it will be considered correct and a lien may be filed against your property. If you have any questions, these rules are outlined in Hillsborough County Code and Ordinances and Laws, Chapter 14, Article 2, Section 14. Any person who decides to appeal the decision of the Code Enforcement Special Magistrate will need a record of the proceeding. The record is comprised of testimony and evidence upon which your appeal is based. It is your responsibility to have ensured that there is a verbatim record of the proceeding is made. By law, you have 30 days from the date of the order to appeal the special magistrate's decision to circuit court. Before we begin, silence all electronic devices. I have read and approved the minutes for the September 9th, 21 Code Enforcement Special Codes. It's to you.
Will all county staff please stand and raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. You may be seated. First case is on page 2 of your agenda, item number 1, case number CE 200-10168, Elizabeth Corona. This case was continued from a previous hearing. Do you have the case summary?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. We have someone here that is virtual. Sir, please state your name and address. Please state your name and address for the record.
Yes, good afternoon. First name Philip, Philip. Last name Resnick, Reznik. Our office address is 5404 Cypress Center Drive, Suite 300, Tampa, Florida, 33609. And I'm appearing for the First Mortgage Company, U.S. Bank.
Are you an attorney?
Yes.
Thank you. Do we have a photo? Do you recognize that photo as the property?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, officer, go ahead.
Rick Garcia, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. In regards to case CE 200100168. As stated before, this case was continued to allow time for the bank to, I guess, take possession of the property. As on my last site visit, the violations of inoperable vehicles, roofs and or parts thereof, and decorative features, the violations still remain.
Okay, thank you. Counselor?
Yes, we have been able to motion the court to reset the sale. I did provide a copy of the motion that we had sent to the Circuit Civil Division to your office. I had provided that to Morgan Spalding via email. So we are motioning in order to reset the sale. The reason that the sale was not previously reset is because it's a FHA loan and it had been under moratoriums previously. So as soon as the sales reset, we would move forward with an eviction. Our records indicated is still owner occupied. Thus, we've not been able to go onto her property because she's not provided us permission to do so.
How long is it going to take you, sir?
I believe we can have this resolved by January.
By when?
January?
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and continue this case until they can get the eviction done. I know everybody's behind. What do we have as a magistrate? For me,
We don't have any January dates yet.
we don't have any January date.
No, but you can
Well,
continue it for 60 days to the next available hearing in January.
okay, we're going to continue this for 60 days, sir. It won't be exactly 60 days. They'll notify y'all by mail as to exactly
Yes.
when. We don't have
Yes, sir.
we don't have
I'll
any.
continue to be in contact with the office with Morgan to check on the date. But yeah, that's no problem. I had no problem finding out about this date, so understood.
Okay. If it's sold, let us know so we can get it off this agenda.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next case, please.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next case is on page 3, item 2, case number CE 21004496, Michael S. Stillings and Helene M. Stillings, and we have service, and there's someone here virtually.
Yes, Helene Stillings.
Please raise your right hand first. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Now state your name and address for the record.
Helene Stillings, 16203 Sagebrush Road, Tampa, Florida, 33618.
Do you recognize that photo as the property?
Yes.
Thank you.
Officer, go ahead.
Rick Garcia, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This is in regards to case CE 21004496 at 16203 Sagebrush Road, Tampa, Florida 33618. Prior to this case, we'd received numerous complaints over time regarding a recreational vehicle being parked in front of the house in a residential area on the right-of-way. The notice, once they received the notice, they complied with it shortly thereafter. However, I'm asking for a remaining compliance order due to the continued complaints prior to this. Note, there have been no complaints since compliance.
Okay, ma'am?
Yes.
It's your turn. What would you like to tell me?
Well, on two of the occasions, I will tell you, my husband got ill. I traveled with my job. We were gone overnight. We came back, and twice my husband wound up in the I can't drive the motor home. And twice I had to try to find somebody to drive the motor home. We do have a storage facility called Big Toy Storage in Sonota, Sassa. But once we got the notice, we haven't been there in 7 months, so we have remained in compliance. And that's all I can say.
Okay. Based on the evidence presented, I find that the property, that's not the one, the property was in violation of Hillsborough County Code of Ordinances as presented. Further, I find the property is now in compliance with the code provision, and I order that it remain in compliance.
No problem. Thank you.
Okay. All right, next case, please.
Next case is on page 4, item 4, case number CE 210155021, Anthony W. Morris, and we have service. We have someone here in person, and we have someone virtual. Can I see the virtual person?
So can you
Ma'am,
unmute your,
raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please state your name and address for the record.
My name is Susan Sullivan. My address is 18113 Crawley Road, Odessa, Florida.
And what is your relationship to this case?
I'm a neighbor.
Thank you. And is there anyone else?
My husband is with me, Edward, but he has Parkinson's and has a difficult time speaking, so I'm speaking on both of our behalf.
Okay.
Okay. Raise your right hand. Can you all just come forward so I could just do it once?
That's my husband. Oh, the people in the courtroom.
Yeah, the people in the audience, if there's anybody else here that's going to be speaking, step up and raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
And each of you, please state your name and address for the record.
My name is Steve Saccone. I live at 9521 Aqua Lane in Odessa, and I am a neighbor of this house.
Josephine Palmer, 18119 Crawley Road, and I live Odessa, and I live adjacent to the property.
Do you guys recognize that photo as the property?
Yes.
Thank you. Officer?
Laura George, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. We're here today for the property at 18121 Crawley Road.
Y'all need to stay up here.
Case number CE 210155021. This property had come to our attention in 2019 due to the parties that were occurring at the property. It was cited back in 2019. It did not go to a hearing. Officer Lance was the officer at that time. He did speak to the property owner back then, and he admitted to hosting parties for the residents in the community. And that the statement in Officer Lance's case is that this individual had the best lawyers in the area, and stated there are 20 plus properties in the area that host similar events. I guess for a period of time, the complaints stopped, and then they started coming in again. With this type of complaint, we're typically called after the event is held. We were given information that there would be a party on October 30th. At that time, we went into Eventbrite. We were able to purchase a ticket for that property. Ticket prices, early bird prices was $15 per ticket. Non-early bird was going to be $25 per ticket, and a ticket for all you can drink could be purchased for $35. The parking location and the information given was informing individuals to park on Gun Highway. The address was that of a Winn-Dixie. Winn-Dixie was given information pertaining to that parking and apparently would not allow the property owner to use their parking location. So later on the day, I believe it was the 29th, it was a Friday, we received information that there was a new parking location. It would be at Citrus Park Town Mall near the AMC Theater parking garage. Officer Pereira went out to the mall on the evening of October 30th. I went out to the area across the street from the mansion. The party bus really didn't start running until 9 o'clock, even though it was advertised to start at 8. Officer Pereira was able to get photos of the party bus picking the individuals up for this party. And I was able to get a photo of that party bus dropping individuals off at Crawley Road. The party bus does not enter the property on Crawley. It stops in front of the mansion and stopping traffic behind it to allow these party goers to get off and go into the mansion for the party. This property was, Officer Pereira attempted a hand delivery to the owner of the combo notice for the hearing. The first day he attempted it, there were 2 vehicles in the driveway, but nobody would answer the door. The second attempt, he ended up leaving a door hanger at the property. The owner did contact him and told him that he was leaving for Europe in 1 hour. Manager Pisano went out the following day, saw some vehicles, rang the doorbell. He was able to get a resident of the property to sign for the combo notice for today's hearing. That individual informed Manager Pisano that the owner was preparing to leave for Europe, but hadn't left yet. What we are looking for in this case is the fact that the owner was already aware from 2019 that these types of events were not allowed to take place on the property. They set up these parties in a clandestine manner, meaning they do not release the address of the location of the party, but they do provide pickup locations for the ticket holders at separate locations to bring them to their property. We are looking to cite this property or have the board order rule or the magistrate rule that you can give them up to a $15,000 per violation for this type of activity because it is irreparable or reversible in nature. The party has come and gone. You can't reverse that party. You can't make it go away. It happened. And you can't reverse the impact it had to the neighbors. And the neighbors are here to speak to that today.
Okay. You said there was a voucher for liquor for $35, I believe.
It would be in one of these slides. It's
Okay.
telling you can purchase a ticket for $35 and it's all you can drink.
Is that with admission or?
That includes admission.
Okay, because I was going to say if they're just charging a $35 all you can drink, we might want to send part of that to State Beverage.
We have been in contact with ATF and they are interested in these types of events.
Okay. Okay, which one of you would like to speak first?
I'll speak. My name is Steve Saccone again at 9521 Aqua Lane. I live caddy corner. This is on a lake up in Odessa called Lake Keystone. Our house is probably 500 yards from this house across the lake. And on numerous times since they started up again, we've had to send our grandkids home, our kids home, get them out from enjoying the lake because it's so vulgar. You know, they get DJs, they're out there screaming, cussing, and it goes on nonstop. So when these events happen, which happen quite often, we're not able to use the lake at all. But it started up again after the 2019, sometime around March 13th. They had a St. Patrick's Day that went on till about 2 a.m. Very, very loud. 317 on St. Patrick's Day, another party went to about 2 a.m. very, very loud. We called up police, our sheriff at both times, and did a little bit of good, and then it started back up again. On 3/28, they had their Sunday fun day, what they called it. I think the sheriff would be knowledgeable of that because this is before they started the clandestine parking. And there was a big wreck right across at 2 a.m. when one of the partiers were leaving and racing through one of the neighborhoods. And then in May, there was a mansion pool party. In August, another one. And this is the first one that we've been able to notify code enforcement beforehand on the 10/30. So we do have indication that they've been charging for each of these, although I only have proof on this last one. And then I have a thing where they're discussing it on Instagram saying, can you buy tickets at the door? Yes, but they're cheaper if you buy them from the Eventbrite and things like that. So it really is a nuisance. I've taken a sound reading at our dock, and it exceeds 70 dBs to 80 dBs constantly during the party. Anyway.
Okay. Ma'am?
Josephine Palmer, 18119 Crawley Road. This gentleman purchased this house approximately 3 years ago, next door to my home.
Ma'am, can you adjust your mask to cover your whole face, your nose? Thank you.
Okay. He started having parties not too long after he moved in. When he first started them, he had a DJ and he had the music very, very loud with improper language in the music. And I talked to him and told him that the music was unacceptable and the language definitely unacceptable. So we got that stopped by my talking to him. On October the 30th, a neighbor or a friend of mine stopped by and said, do you know they're having a party next door? And I said, no. And we were going out somewhere. And when we came back in about 8 o'clock, the party started with loud music. It went on at 11 o'clock. I called the sheriff's office and reported it and asked them to come out and get them to lower the music. Nothing really happened there, but at 2 o'clock, I'm still awake. It's so loud in my bedroom. At 3 o'clock, it's still going. And we can't get any sleep in our house. So I called again, and still, the music wasn't stopped. The party was still going on at 7:30 the next morning. Continued all day that day, but not very loud. Then around 8 o'clock, it started up again. And at 10:30, I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden, that music stopped. And then there was someone out there taking pictures. We don't know what happened, but I was in on my computer at that time filing my complaint. This has got to stop. These parties that they're having are totally unacceptable. They have parked as high as 40 to 50 cars in the yard of the house across the street from this property. We can't have that kind of traffic on our road because we have motorcyclists and cars that come in front of our street doing 80 miles an hour, and they say there's nothing they can do to stop it. My next thing is I'm going to be asking for bumps in front of this 2-mile road that goes down and is a cut through for people.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Miss Murphy?
I'm here. I'm present.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing? Okay. Do you have a question?
I do. Officer George says we can fine them up to $15,000. Is
Okay.
that Go ahead.
I'm gonna read the code, and I think it's gonna be within your discretion. So I'm looking at, section 162.09 of the Florida statutes. And it says the special magistrate, these are the fines, can impose a fine for 1,000 per day for the first violation, 5,000 per day for a repeat violation. This is not a repeat, and up to 15,000 per violation if the magistrate finds the violations to be irreversible or irreparable in nation, that it cannot be reversed. So those are the options as provided in state law.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, we have somebody here virtual. Somebody wishes to speak virtual?
Ms. Sullivan, yes, you may speak.
Yes, Magistrate, thank you for allowing us to come today. Speaking both for my husband and myself, as I said earlier, he has Parkinson's and it's difficult for him to communicate. In addition to the noise, one of the huge concerns that I have is for the safety of the people, not only residents and other people on the lake, but for the people attending these parties. I myself was out in our boat late in the evening, late afternoon, dusk, almost dark, trying to get away from the noise, just to take a break and go down on the south end of the lake. As I was returning, they have multiple jet skis going in and out of this property with kids on them, many who are riding double or at times triple, with no life jackets on, with no lighting on their watercraft, with no instruction on how to navigate. And they are coming straight at me, full board, straight at my boat, full board. Now I have lights on my watercraft. I stopped my boat because I wasn't sure if they could even see me or knew I was there. And I thought there was going to be a collision. I was fearful not only for my life, but for the life of those kids that were on that boat. They have had over 100 people and residents hanging out on the dock upstairs, jumping off. There are jet skis. I pulled my grandchildren off of the lake during the daytime when they're out there just paddling around. I won't let them play out there because I'm afraid somebody's going to be hurt. There looks like underage minors at these parties. There's enough obnoxious fumes coming from these parties. It's like Woodstock. You get my understanding. This man has made a mockery
Wasn't it?
of zoning laws. He keeps finding workarounds, and it just seems like, we're a quiet neighborhood. If Mr. Morris wants to have parties, let him find a commercial property. But this is not safe and it's improper. And I just wanted to make sure that not only did we address the noise issues, but the safety issues of kids that are going unsupervised at these parties. Somebody's going to end up hurt, somebody's going to possibly end up dead, and it's going to make all kind of press, sadly.
Okay. All right, I understand. Not being at Woodstock, I don't know what fumes you're talking about, but I can guess it's probably the odor of marijuana.
It appeared to be, not that I'm a consumer.
Okay, all right. I'm ready to rule. I rule that based on the evidence presented, I find the property was in violation of Hillsborough County codes or ordinances as listed in staff's presentation. Find the violation to be irreparable and irreversible in nature pursuant to Florida Statute 162.9 Florida State and Hillsborough County Code and Ordinances, Chapter 14, Article 2, Section 14-27, and that a fine of $15,000 be opposed. The fine must be paid within 30 days, or the order will be recorded in public record of the county, Hillsborough County which will constitute a lien against the property in violation, and other real or personal property owned by the violator. Further, based on the evidence presented, I find the property was in violation of Hillsborough County Code of Ordinances as presented, and the property is now in compliance with the code provision and order, and that it remain in compliance with this code provision. Cease and desist with any parties. That's my order. Next case.
Mr. Magistrate?
Yes.
Yes, just so I'm clear, the statutes is up to 15,000. I just wanted to clarify, the fine is 15,000, correct?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
The next case is on page 6, item 10, case number CE 21002267, Dawn M. Fountain, and we have service. And I believe Ms. Fountain is here in person. You can pull the mic to you. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Dawn Fountain, 12525 Lovers Lane, Riverview, Florida, 33579.
Do you recognize that photo as the property?
Yes.
Thank you.
Go ahead, officer.
Good afternoon. I'm Code Enforcement Officer Leon Saller with Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. Property in question is located at 12525 Lovers Lane, Riverview, and is owned by Dawn Fountain. Property is not in foreclosure. Property was first inspected on February 19th, 2021, and was cited for 5 different violations. As of my last inspection on November 4th, there were only 4 violations remained, and they were accumulations, inoperable vehicles, overgrowth, and outside open storage. And that's where we're at this point.
Okay, ma'am. What would you like to tell me?
Well, a couple of things, honestly. For the last couple of years, my son brings home everything. He will not put anything in the backyard. I've been very sick and I've not been able to get things done myself. The grass we have gotten mowed, some of the other things we've gotten put out back. And I had to put an eviction against my son. And it was just like 2 weeks ago. Because he will not stop doing this. And excuse me, it's hard. And I can't do it anymore. So I have to wait for them to finish the eviction before I can remove his stuff or have somebody come remove it. But
Wait a minute, I don't understand. You're being evicted?
no, I'm evicting my son that is doing all this stuff, bringing all this stuff in the yard and will not put it where it belongs or
Okay.
clean up the yard.
So you have filed for the eviction?
Yes, I have. And they served him last Monday.
Okay.
They had till Friday to comply, which they did. So now I have to go back to the courthouse. I was going to go tomorrow, but it's Veterans Day, so I'll be going Friday. But when I went through the court system with my ex-husband, I know I wasn't allowed to remove any of his stuff until court was over. So I don't know if this is the same situation or not.
Technically, until he's evicted, he's still a tenant.
Exactly.
But he has moved out?
He has taken some of his stuff from inside. He said he'll be back for the rest that is outside, supposedly this weekend. I can't guarantee that though, because I can't make him do it. That's why I'm having to have had it evicted.
Right. I don't know how the eviction proceedings, how long they're taking.
Well, the lady told me once I go back there and I apply for the actual, another court date, that it's gonna take a while. I don't know what that means.
Okay. I'm going to continue this for 60 days, well, into January. You'll be notified by mail as to the date. Hopefully you have your court taken care of and he's evicted and that stuff's moved. You, okay?
Yes,
All
hopefully
right.
it will be. Thank
Friday,
you so
go down
much.
to the courthouse.
Excuse me?
I said Friday, go down to the courthouse.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you so much.
You're welcome. Next case, please.
Next case is on page 9, item 16, case number CE 21002494, Lori Petit, and we have service. And raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Lori Pettit, 9618 Teresa Drive, Sassa, Florida.
Do you recognize that photo as the property?
Yes.
Thank you.
Go ahead, officer.
Officer Steen, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. I first inspected the property located at 9618 Teresa Drive, Sassa, Florida, 33592. It was first inspected on February 24th, 2021. Time of the inspection, the property was tenant occupied, not in foreclosure. And the violations that were noted were inoperable vehicles. On the day I took the updated photos, which was November the 3rd, there were 2 inoperable vehicles on the property. The evening of the 3rd, this one was removed, the Subaru. When I returned the following day, the Mercedes remained on the property.
Okay, ma'am.
I request a deadline of November 30th to have the Mercedes removed so that I'm in compliance. I have no other information to provide, sir. There's no excuse.
November 30th. How many days are we talking here?
Would be 11, sir, 11 or 12. We have Veterans Day.
All right.
County services are closed. Thanksgiving, county services are closed.
All right. Ma'am? 20 days. Okay. November. So we're gonna give her 20 days. All right. I'm ready to rule. Based on the evidence presented, I find that the property is in violation of Hillsborough County Code and ordinances as staff's presentation. Further, based on the gravity of the violation, action taken by the violator and the violator's history, I grant 20 days to come into compliance. Compliance is not achieved by that date, a fine of $250 a day will be assessed. So you have 20 days, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. Next case, please.
I believe that concludes everyone that's in the audience.
We got all the virtuals.
Yeah. Everything.
Okay, seeing there's no one present in the audience for the remaining cases on the agenda, I will now review the case materials provided by the county staff and that the property is in violation of Hillsborough County Code or ordinances as listed in staff's presentation. My ruling in each case will be based on the evidence presented, the gravity of the violation, action taken by the violator, and violator's history to determine the amount of fine that will be assessed. And we're ready for the next case.
Next case is on page 3, item 3, case number CE 21002763. Wabana Sue Hobson and Tammy Crickman. We have service and no one is present.
Officer, go ahead.
Yes, good afternoon. Officer Guy Carter, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. Property in question is located 5721 State Road 674, Waimama, Florida 33598. Property is on RSC 6 and appears vacant. Property was first inspected March 3rd, 2021, and was cited for accumulations, overgrowth, and an inoperable vehicle. As of my last inspection conducted November 4th, 2021, all violations remained.
Okay. Let's see. I order okay. I grant 7 days to come in compliance. If compliance is not achieved by that date, a fine of $250 a day will be assessed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Next case.
Page 4, item 5, case number CE 21003884. This case complied as of November 1st. Item 6, case number CE 21004311. This case was pulled for staff on November 3rd. Page 5, item 7, case number CE 200184999, Fellner Properties LLC. We have service and no one is present.
Donald K. Bowling, Hillsborough County Code Enforcement. This case began on 12/21/2020. There was a total of 6 visits. The total violations are accumulations, overgrowth, nuisance conditions for an unsecured residence, roofs and parts thereof. Contact has been made with the owners personally by our RRP team, a pre-RP team, excuse me, during an abatement. So they did know about this hearing. This is a property that's was behind 1202 Bloomingdale Avenue that currently has fines running, I think, $700 a day.
So the nuisance condition is it's unsecured.
Yes, we had a team go out actually for an abatement, and that's how they made contact with the owners. I believe it is now secured. Not yet secured, but it's in the process of being secured. There are a lot of broken windows, doors. Just about every entrance is completely destroyed.
Okay, the county's going to secure it? Is that what you're telling me, or?
The violators were there and met with our abatement team.
Okay.
And were actually told to pull the posting that was already up off the wall, that the hearing was today.
Okay.
And they were made, and they were apparently aghast at the conditions of the property. That's the best I can tell you.
Okay, they didn't give you an idea of how long it would take.
They gave no idea. They said that they were going to get on it, lickety split, but again, they're not here.
Okay. All right. I grant 7 days to come into compliance. Compliance is not achieved by that date, a fine of $500 a day be assessed.
Item 8, case number CE 2001878. This case complied as of November 4th. Page 6, item 9, case number CE 2100193. This case is pulled for lack of service. Page 7, item 11, case number CE 21002638. This case complied as of November 2nd. Item 12, case number CE 21002639. This case complied as of November 2nd. Item 13, case number CE 200-18693. This case complied as of October 20th. Page 8, item 14, case number CE 21000028. This case complied as of November 3rd. Item 15, case number CE 21001546. This case complied as of November 3rd. Page 9, item 17, case number CE 21002774. This case complied as of November 3rd. And that concludes our agenda.
Okay, unless anybody else has anything, we are adjourned.